I think a lot of times in life we sort of get so caught up within, I guess, living life that we forget that we're the one that lives it. And when I say that, I don't necessarily just mean that in a plain sense or in a, I guess, mundane way of saying it, but in saying that, the path can't be walked without you. I feel like we have to contribute something to our lives in order to not only understand it, but to appreciate it. I feel like the gratitude that comes with our experience is really exemplary of the gratitude that we have for ourselves in experiencing. And I mean that to say, I think it's important to be where you are. Understand that you really do lose everything you have in focusing on what you lack. And that's not to say that you don't desire more, but understand that you have to be appreciative and grateful of what you have. Our gratitudes, I feel like, in a way, should not live in reference to each other. And when it comes to our pursuits, when it comes to actually doing things for our own benefit or doing things, I guess, to feel most like ourselves, it's about being there to do it. I think sometimes we get so caught up in, how life is or how we connotate it in our heads that we forget that we are also, somewhat a creator of our own experience. Our perspective at times and our efforts towards our goals often play a role in how we actually experience the life we live. I say that to say, give yourself a chance or give yourself room or give yourself audience. I feel like all of these words and all of these things sort of tend towards the same idea that, you have to play an active participant role in your life. And when I say play, I don't necessarily mean it in the sense of being fictitious, but in a way of being intentional, intimate, and present. Life is truly beautiful, I find, when you allow it to be life and, stop it from being your mind's connotation. When you allow things to be as they are, when you not only allow yourself, but allow things. And when I say that, I don't necessarily mean that you don't change or you don't see things that you need to change, but you understand that your change comes from you. Your change comes from either an action you take or the patience you have or the actions that you don't take. But either way, it's about the intention and the intimacy and the love, the passion, and self-love discipline that you put into life. And I feel like when it comes to myself, there's so many things that I feel like I have to be sort of disciplined about and sort of understand myself better at. Like, especially recently, I'm finding that not only I'm having a little bit of trouble not bringing myself to the level of my desires, but making my systems the level of my desires, bringing myself in a sense of my own identity and attaching certain characters and good qualities to my character to allow them to be exemplified even at my lowest.
Have we not been okay.
And I think that's what's sort of important, not necessarily working from a framework of your highest form, but bringing that stuff to your lowest. Ooh. So everything becomes a relative low when it comes to your life, and then everything else is upward. I feel like in living your life on an upward slant or, having an optimistic point of view, you open yourself to so much more. And I feel like there's so many things that sort of make us feel negative about ourselves or make us feel a certain way. And I feel like it's important to just be intentional when you are getting into those endeavors. And one of the things that I feel like I've sort of had the most trouble with, or at least in the past, was my skin. Was sort of my expression of my face, expression of myself out into the world, the first thing that people see. And I feel like, while I feel like we should not be caught up in people's perception of us, I feel like at times it is still important to understand our perspective of ourselves. And that's why I'd like to thank Teach Hanley for sponsoring this video. If you guys are unfamiliar with Teach Hanley, it's an uncomplicated skincare brand centered around men, which basically focuses on providing a better outlet for men to take care of their skin. And they sent me their level 1 system, which I'm going to display to you guys today. What it comes with is a wash.
Okay, sorry, we're not gonna watch it. I'm sorry.
You're gonna save up to 40% off your first box today.
I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him. That's that extra 2 minutes, cause y'all know his videos be 15 minutes. This was 17 minutes. I'm saying, why did 17 minutes?
If you guys are interested in any of that, make sure to click the link in my description, link in my bio, and then also in the pinned comment.
That's right, baby.
And yeah, but I feel like skincare and anything relating to ourselves and relating to things that relate to our perception of ourselves are very important. Because I feel like if even if you feel like everyone else isn't judging you, you still counts judgment on yourself. I feel like any judgment that anyone places on you isn't a true judgment until
like
you allow it to seep into your character, until you allow it to seep into the judgment that you have for yourself. And that's why I feel like projection is really a double-edged sword, because it's not only the way you project yourself into the world, but the way you project other things onto yourself. The way you allow other things to be inherent to your character when they truly are not. And I feel like part of being present enough to walk the path, or walking the path with yourself, or being present to be there, is recognizing the way at which we diminish our own viewpoint, way at which we diminish our own lives in our effort to accommodate other people's perspectives. And I don't say that to say, be narcissistic or don't listen to other people when it comes to their viewpoint, but understand your own viewpoint and understand the baseline for where it comes from. I feel like a lot of times we're too complex in our acquisition of self, too complex in our acquisition of some type of understanding of who we are. I think the importance is sort of let go of that complexity, let go of that absurd over-analysis of the world, and allow things to be and see them for what they are. I feel like in that way we have a better grasp and better chance to actually influence the things that we want to work in our favor. I feel like if we always live within this world of connotation within our mind, then all we're going to experience is our mind. All we're going to experience is the way we feel about this, that, and the other, rather than how things are. I don't say that to say that you won't feel things from how things actually are, but I feel like feelings posited in authenticity in your presence are a little bit different than ones posited in the mind. I feel like once you feel things in the real world, because even if you're present, you're not going to avoid hardship. You're not going to avoid negative things. But negative things will just be negative things. And you won't be a negative person because of that. And you won't allow it to seep into your character. I feel like because presence allows you to differentiate between what is inherent to you and what isn't. And I feel like giving yourself that liberty is sort of one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves, because I feel like even if self-loves come without condition, I feel like our perspective of our own self-love is important too. It's not just about what you do for yourself, but how you do it and the intention behind it. I feel like when it comes to my discipline and when it comes to actually doing the things I need to do in order to walk my path, sometimes I feel like I'm not compassionate enough with myself. And sometimes I feel like, I need to give myself a better grasp, not only in my sense of liberty and the freedom I give to myself, but the affection and intimacy I give to each and every one of my actions and the things that I do. I feel like everything's going to seem mundane and dreary and negative and tiring and stressful as long as we're not within it. As long as you don't put yourself into the situation enough to experience yourself while you're doing that something. I feel like if you posit that you're something you love and you give yourself that kind of self-love and affirmation, then anything that you do can be filled with that love and affirmation, as long as you're present enough to recognize that love is still within you. I feel like sometimes we get into certain situations and walk in this path that we forget that we're supposed to be a part of it. And we get so caught up in the ebbs and flows and the action without ourselves that it becomes action without ourselves. And we stop being able to benefit in terms of the lessons and the growth. Because it starts just being about that certain something rather than understanding your place and your role within it. I don't say that to say you have to take responsibility for every single thing that proceeds after you do something or anything of that sort. But saying that if you're not present enough to learn the lesson, then
Topgolf is introducing free playtime, anytime. Waggles on a Wednesday, free. Saturday morning smiles, free.
There's no lesson. You have to be there with open ears and open eyes sometimes in order to see life for what it is, or see yourself for what you are. Because at the end of the day, it's not really about the life you experience, it's about the life that you are. It's about the life that you allow to be within this world, about the love that you give to yourself, to allow yourself to be within this world. And I feel like if we can't do that as the very baseline of our existence, the baseline of our humanity, comfort, blah, 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 then everything is going to be void of peace. Void of the peace that comes with being yourself and allowing yourself to be and working on the things that you...
One of the options I created for this drop was crochet scrunchies. So I got an order for one.
Need to work on and truly giving yourself to your experience. And when I say that, I don't mean that you're doing things for experience, but understanding who you are and understanding that the present is the ultimate opportunity to get anything that you want, to do anything for yourself that you can. And I think sometimes we do ourselves a disservice by sort of expecting tomorrow. Expecting tomorrow to come, saying that, well, I'll just do that tomorrow, or I'll wait till tomorrow to start this, or da-da. And I feel like since New Year's is coming up, I feel like maybe I should talk about that too. Because I made a video like 3 years ago about how New Year's resolutions are sort of messed up in the way we look at them sometimes. Because we wait until this finite amount of time until we actually start to work on ourselves. And I feel like because we make it a time-based thing, it becomes fleeting. It becomes, oh, well, I've already done this for this many days, or I fell off of it, I'll just wait till next year. You know, because we have those milestones. But I recognize that the present moment, and you allow yourself to actually be within the day and make life intimate on its own, it no longer is about that simplicity. New day, new me. New second, new me. You know, everything is new, and every day is a new opportunity.
That's what I take from the story of Christ. Like, every day we have to resurrect. Like, every day we have to work on ourselves. Every day. It's an everyday thing. And I think that'd be another thing, like, that I be talking about when it comes to God and people asking me, like, you know, about my relationship with God and how we're so close. And it's like, because I make it my mission to every day tap in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have, like, even when it comes to your consciousness and vibrating and getting on another frequency, like, you got to clean up every single day. Like, you have to choose to be conscious, because it's easy to be sleep. We are in a reality where sleeping is actually easier than being awake. You know what I'm saying? So, like, some of us are choosing, like, I don't want to be asleep. Like, I want to consciously and continuously be awake. You feel me, Crystal? So, yeah, that's what I just feel with that. It's like, you can't just decide, oh, I just don't want to be conscious today, so I'm not. Okay. Well, you can. But I don't know, like, your results, don't be mad at your results. You know what I'm saying? And that don't necessarily mean do shit till you burn out. You know, some days you gonna go and have an adventurous day, and you could still be conscious in that. You could still be grateful that you got to have an adventurous day. You get to you know what I'm saying? But, like, also, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know how to explain it, y'all, but you gotta be present.
The way we look at time and the way we reference ourselves when it comes to our goals is also something that I feel like needs to be changed in terms of our perspective. I feel like the way we look at things is sort of so focal pointed to the point where we lose everything around it. It's not about the new year, it's about yourself. It's about whatever you want to bring into yourself to get whatever you want in this new year. And I feel like if you treat every day like that, then life will no longer be about, you know, this specific thing of value and that specific thing of value, like money or power or da-da-da. And instead it becomes about understanding. Finding a way to navigate the world around you in a way that accommodates you, in a way that allows you to be comfortable within who you are, and recognize that your comfort with the world is not something that you have to earn or something that you have to, you know, fight crazily for. It's something that you have to allow within yourself. There are so many times, especially recently, where I felt slightly uncomfortable, and I recognized that discomfort was never with this situation. It was always with myself and my perception of myself within that situation. Whether or not I felt comfortable or not I felt like I was, you know, up to the standard that I put the situation at. And that's why I feel like it's important to recognize your separation from the situation and how we overvalue certain things when it comes to ourselves. You know, I feel like you have to allow the world before you, you have to allow yourself before you allow the world. that's why I said any judgment we cast is truly on ourselves. You know, walking the path with yourself and being present to walk the path and saying that, you know, the path can't be walked without you is basically saying that there is no path without you.
Clock
You, in a
that.
sense, are the path. And I think recognizing that is taking away your dependence on external factors to sort of give you some type of comfort and some type of love for yourself. I feel like a lot of us wait till great things happen to feel great about ourselves. And I feel like in that way, we're conditioning ourselves and conditioning our certain thoughts and actions to be aligned with, you know, I'm going to wait for this to feel good. And in that way, you'll tend to not feel good because some external thing isn't showing you. And I feel like even when external things do happen, they'll be fleeting as long as we don't allow that good feeling and that love for ourselves to be inherent to ourselves. You know, to not sway with the world around us. But, you know, I saw a quote before. It was like, you can't control the waves, but you can learn to surf. And I feel like with the ebbs and flows of
I could have swore I said.
life, of course, there are certain things and certain situations, events, and circumstances that take us away. That take us away from ourselves or aimed in a negative way or are negative.
We're EF Ultimate. The best way to...
I can't make this shit up, y'all.
No, you can change your perspective on it, but some things are just negative. But it's important to sort of understand yourself and your relationship to that negativity. And recognizing that you don't have to be negative just because you're encountering negativity. And just because you know, someone projected negativity, doesn't mean you have to be negative either. I feel like the greatest service that we can ever do to ourselves as people is sort of transmute that into something positive for ourselves. Give ourselves a better opportunity, a better chance to enjoy the life that we live. Because it's our life. You truly only do live once and you know, you live every day. We live every day. You live all the time. You're constantly living. But you only die once. And I think one of the most successful things that we can do, the most successful thing that we have done is continue to persevere and continue to be here where we are. And I don't think it is even about, you know, any type of idolizing of the path. It's about acceptance of the self. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you guys are taking care of yourself to the best extent. I have a lot on the way, a lot planned. It started the new year. I'm coming back with my podcast. I'm gonna do a final poll because I don't know whether or not I would want to have the podcast on the main channel or have a separate channel for longer form content, considering I post every other day. So yeah, I'm leaning towards making a new channel, just so I can have that and still be consistent over here for those who need it and for myself. But thank you all. I love you. Keep taking care of yourself. Doing what you can, what you have. And this is coming out around the holidays, around the New Year. So, you know, take care of yourself.